you actually left the prison system and you returned to the community, you started helping and giving back. At what point did you become inspired to try to, help the youth, and how did you go about doing it?
Well, I've always helped youth. I've never, ever told anybody to gangbang. See, that's another thing in the 70s. We didn't recruit. You had to come to us and you had to show what you was about because you couldn't just put on those Levi's and get tattooed up and wear this and have that look. That don't mean shit. You got to bring it. So we didn't have no uh codes to get in or nothing like that. We were just a group of young groups, rebels without a cause, doing what we were doing. So all during my life, I've never told the youth to do nothing wrong, but I've always tried to get money. I've never been to jail for black on black crime as far as violence. I've always went to jail for getting some money somehow or another. I got over 40 arrests for robbery. That's what we do. We were jackers too. I'm banging with my boys over here, and I might have another group that's up here getting money where we using the pistol. But what really made me go public was when I was in prison and I was the first one. We had a level 4 maximum security. You never wake up with the sun up. You never see the sun come up. You never see the moon go down. You get a half a day on that yard, 2 hours, and that's it. So once everybody found out I had a chance of getting a reversal and actually getting the life sentence off of me, uh, when I did get it, they told me, Melvin, whatever you do, don't forget about us in prison. So I got out, I wrote the book. And from 97, I ended up being a civil rights activist, helping the youth. And that actually changed my life. So since 1997, I've been a public figure, which a lot of people don't know. I've done numerous civil rights cases that are nationally known. Amadou Diallo in New York, Prince Jones, the Howard University student slain at in Washington, the Death Row 10 in Chicago, uh, Taisha Miller slain in Riverside by police, Margaret Laverne Mitchell, the homeless lady shot over a copper cart, Sharice Iverson, the young lady that was slain at the hotel in Vegas, her mama, Yolanda Manuel. Shout out to her. I did the case where the police that has the head of the sheriff department, he in prison now, but he was letting the Mexican mafia kill blacks within the county jail. I went there with Christopher Darden, took a nurse with me to check on 849 inmates that had been stabbed, scalded, beaten, and we filed a lawsuit, the one first in the history, to where the police were found guilty of not protecting a certain ethnic race within the prison, in the prison system, because it's jail. So that's what inspired me. And I knew God. I never read the Bible. Not one time. When I've been in prison, anybody know you can get a Bible before you can get water. But I never opened that Bible other than to use a blank sheet of paper to roll some weed when I ain't got paper or to make some tobacco. And but I never lost faith. And when I got out, I had enough sense to know that God didn't slam these doors on me permanently, where I've had numerous friends of mine been down 40, 35, 40 years that are just now getting out from the behavior from back then. And they was up under going to prison when all you had to do was 7 years for a murder in the prison system, and you're eligible. They called it 7 up. Now they got determined dates with numbers on them, and you got a set time. So that's how that started. After I got the life sentence, I got a awakening, a calling, and that's what I've been doing.
Okay, okay. Wow, keep up the good work, King. You know what I'm saying? You definitely planting some seeds, and it's gonna have a major effect on the community for decades to come. The elders is very important, very knowledgeable, you experience. So it should be more elders that do come out into the community and participate and work with the youth and different things like that. So I want to commend you. I wanted to ask you about Nipsey Hussle. You actually got a chance to meet him. I wanted to ask you, what was your experience with meeting him, and how has his life and his work and his music affected the community and the people of Los Angeles?
Well, I seen Nipsey. We was at, I think, the Greek right before Joey Badass. I was a guest with Joey Badass, and they was giving some concert tour, and I seen him a couple weeks before that. But on my end, Nipsey Hussle just was an icon of his community over there in the Rolling 60s. I'm from Gangster Crip. So as far as, and he's a younger guy, but he was, I know uh, the attitude was, particularly on our side, right up in the 80s, 60s, and right up in there, very few come out uh, prosperous from our community. So at the end of the day, uh, people were, proud of him because of what he did and that he made it out. And then you had those that, oh, that's just Nipsey Hussle. But he, on his side, he gave back to the community, uh, tried to show them economical development, and he surely was helping his people and his tribe from over there. So, it was tragic what happened, but it's not the first time that this happened. I'm built to witness murder. I come in this game witnessing murder. So when I hear about a murder, it's no more different than we had a young man that was killed the other day. Who speaks for him? Who speaks for a young man that ain't famous? But his life is just as important as anybody else, not only in this community, around the world. So I try to speak up for those who otherwise voices wouldn't be heard and bring attention and awareness to that. But at the end of the day, Nipsey Hussle was a great icon for this community and just one of the a few that had a chance to make it out and go and be something and come back and give back. Because he could have stayed away and he probably would be alive today. But he chose to come back to help cousin Kerry, who had just got out from doing like 20 years, to give him some a care package, is what I say. Clothing, probably a little money and stuff. So he doesn't have to do that. And that's one of the problems. They got a saying in California, death to the high road. And so, that's all. It was just tragic and it should have been avoided. A lot of guys that had talent for Biggie, Tupac, Young Dolph, I see them both three, and I see them all with this social media, those being Adolf Twitters, gang banging uh, over the internet. And some people say words to alarm, and then sometimes people say words that can get you harmed. And that be the case. You have to really watch your language and who you're really messing around.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So big salute to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace. Gone
Now
but
you
not
also
forgotten.
have Monster Cody from our side. Monster Cody uh, helped uh, rejuvenate us with his books, his literature, and his career. I never read it, but at the end of the day, Monster Cody was just as respected as uh, Nipsey Hussle, and I say that because they're like the same images, but both of them turned their lives around, and just it's just tragic that uh, the way these guys are getting lost. We don't want their legacy to be lost and tainted to where people give their side and they see the media and they don't see the human aspects of a young man. Because I just look at him as a young man. I don't look at him as Nipsey Hussle this or this because it has no bearing in my life. It might have an effect on the other ones, which is image and acting. So I like to get the youngsters they prop and all the youngsters out here. They having money across the United States and just stay trying to get your money and avoid the criminal justice system and quit killing each other. I promise you, you have a much better chance of succeeding in life and giving these younger kids a chance to be who they want to be. Don't stuff their life out by peer pressuring and bullying. Allow them to be and spring like a tree, like a plant, and bear good fruit. Because we're the fruit of the poisonous tree. Everything that come off this tree is poison.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Big shout out to Monster Cody. That book was very powerful, impactful, and it changed a lot of people's lives for the better, throughout the country, most definitely. I know he got to work with Tupac and a lot of other artists in the industry. He did a
Yes,
lot
sir.
and he spoke about change, positive change in the community, most definitely.